what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another great epic episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. Guys, we are talking Transformers 1 full spoilers review. Yes, you did hear me say spoilers, meaning me and my guest over here. We are going to spoil this movie up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. That is your warning. And talking about my guest, got Mr. One Take Big Dog. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Good. I'm good. Happy to be here talking about this movie.
Yeah, man. Me too. Not only am I happy about talking about this movie, I'm particularly happy about talking about it with you, sir, because it's been a minute. You know, we did another video recently, and that was dope. Hopefully, we can do some more in the future. And you are a very, very passionate Transformers fan. I think you've seen pretty much everything, if I had to guess. And the franchise overall is decent for me. I think it's safe to say that you love it, you know, so is that fair? Okay.
Absolutely.
That's what's up right there. Well, guys, if you love what we have to say in this video, you can follow us on social media. Our handles are on the screen. Also, his information, One Takes, is going to be in the description box of this video. And like always, give this man a subscription. You can follow him on YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and get into this nitty gritty. One Take, my expectations for this movie was low. I didn't want to see it when the trailer first dropped. I was just like, I mean, the Transformers Beast Wars was decent, but you know, having not Optimus Prime, but just some of the stuff that Michael Bay did in his, you know, iteration of Transformers just put a bad taste on my mouth. But I love this, bro. This movie was off the chain. If you haven't seen it already, guys, I posted my non-spoiler review. Look at my face on it. That's exactly how I feel about this movie. That's how I felt pretty much after the first 5 minutes to the end credits, man. This was one of the best movies that I've seen all year in 2024, and I can't wait to tell you guys why in just a moment. But I'm gonna pass it to One Take, man. How you feeling about this, bro? I'm pretty sure you liked it, but let the good people out there know.
So I am an avid lover of Transformers, except for the last night. That's the only one I cannot defend, but the other ones I defend to my dying day. Love the franchise. Grew up watching it. I didn't grow up on the 80s series where it was cars. I grew up more watching Beast Wars and Transformers Armada. But overall, I just always love the franchise. I always get repeat viewings with the films. And going into this one, it was kind of different because the voices, you know what I'm saying? I think was Peter Cullen as Optimus. That voice is just so iconic and just so memorable for him. And so hearing Chris Hemsworth as Optimus, I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. Brian Tyree Henry, who I love as an actor, but him as Megatron, I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, this looks very comedic. This is just going to be like a kid's movie. Oh, man. And then I saw the film, and I was just like, yeah, I take back everything I said. And I'm not gonna lie, it was like a moment of bliss watching this film. That's how much I loved it.
Yeah, man. For me, the point that I knew that this was going to be perfect and I was going to be running out the theater just screaming for joy with my hands in the air was just seeing how driven Optimus was. And what is his name before he's Optimus again? Let me look it up. It is Orion Pax. Yeah, when he was just so driven to prove himself that he's more than what they thought he would be of just a minor. How he wanted to get on that race.
You gotta say it, B. More than meets the eye.
There you go. He wanted to let everybody know that he is more than meets the eye. That's what's up right there. I love it. Shout out to you. But the race, man, at the beginning, you know, and D16, Brian, Megatron, you know, he was all skeptical and scared. And, you know, it's interesting how he ended up making that transition towards the middle and end of the movie. But that race, man, that was so much fun for me. Just seeing them compete, seeing the crowds and all of his people, all of the other miners looking up to him like, oh my God, there's miners on the racetrack. Guys, there's miners. I mean, everybody just dropped what they was doing and just ran to a monitor, ran to a window to witness this. in front of the whole population. And I was like, wow, this is the Super Bowl for the race of people, you know? And I mean, that was probably obvious to a number of you, but it just really hit me right there. Like, man, if they really do, you know, I wasn't even expecting them to win first place. And they almost did. I mean, I'm just like, the fact that you just competed, you know, alone, and you didn't have a Transformers cog, you know, you had to be very, very innovative and think on your feet. You know how they used that? They was behind, like, oh, they jumped. I know I'm going a million miles a minute right now. I'm sorry, but you know when they was behind in the race, and then they saw that rocket booster thing on the side, and they looked at each other and they was like, hey, let's get in this. Hoe, we ain't giving up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hell yeah, I respect this right here. You know what I'm saying? They say I got a short time. I was gonna say a short time to live on Earth, but in that case, it's Cybertron, and I'm gonna give it all I got. Goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? And they did, man. And so I was smiling, bro, like, just like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I'm not exaggerating, man, but that was just a top flight moment for me. One take, to where, you know, I was having fun at the very beginning, you know, but that right there, I was just like, man, I haven't experienced something this great in a theater in a long, long time. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
No. I think I completely agree with that sentiment right there. Especially just given the fact that they're very different. You know what I'm saying? D16 Megatron is basically like a straightforward guy, just kind of want to like build himself up, you know what I'm saying, through the ranks, you know what I'm saying, just by working. And Orion Pax he's just like, he's a dreamer. And there's nothing more exciting than seeing a dreamer, somebody who's like, okay, this is everything. The cars are not built for me to win. All right. Well, I guess in this case, I wasn't built to win this. You know what I'm saying? I have no car. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at a complete disadvantage. But you know what? I'm always bringing my friend in on stuff. And like the moment, even when he had him in the spot when it was like, okay, we're gonna watch the race from here. Oh, that's amazing. Then it's like, nah, bro, we gonna shock everybody. We gonna be in it. And like, regardless if they win, like you said, regardless if they win or not, there were other Transformers, people who had cars who didn't even finish the race. They made it to the very end. Okay. And it was just exciting to see that. And I think that's always good to see, because it's not like, you see stories of stuff of people who like become successful and you hear about where they came from. But no, these two were known. You know what I'm saying? They were known minors. And people knew them like, wait, they doing this? Like everybody, like, stop doing all that. Forget the minor. Look at, bro, that's Orion Paxton, troublemaker who always getting into stuff. Yo, that like, and that kind of thing, like, yo, anybody can do it, and regardless of it's just that mindset. I know it's somewhat of a kid's movie, but it kind of hits you with that, man. No matter where you're from or what you got, man, you have the ability to be more. You know what I'm saying? So I love things like that.
Yeah. And while we're watching all this unfold, man, you just seeing all the Transformers. They come in all different types of shapes and sizes. And I mean, of course, they did have that in the live action movie too. Megatron was huge and Jazz was like a little Porsche or something like that. So, you know, you had scale, but it's still hitting me here, you know, especially at the very beginning, where we get Optimus or Orion Pax trying to, you know, find out his history, his lineage, you know, what happened back in the day, like, you know, what events happened to put them in the place they was, you know, supposedly born into. You know, and so, you know, that was fun. I mean, it just kind of just starts off as an adventure mystery, you know, like, okay, well, how are we going to solve this puzzle here? And, you know, like, what are they keeping a secret? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I want to know what's going on behind the curtain. And so that was just a real good way to attach ourselves to the character early on. How did you feel about I mean, you can comment on that, but also the voice casting. I initially, again, I didn't like it. I'm like, it's Brian Tyree Henry from Atlanta. I like him, but I'm just gonna hear him. And I like Chris Hemsworth, but come on, you gonna replace Peter Cullen with Chris Hemsworth? Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Did it work for you? Yeah. Did it work for you, or did you want something else?
I think I said I think I said Brian Cullen earlier too. My bad, Peter Cullen. My apologies.
I think
Great Optimus.
all good. All good.
Now I will say that was kind of one of the things I think I had to kind of like get used to. Now, as far as Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron, that one didn't bother me that much because like Megatron, it had many different voices, and none of them had just like stuck. So Megatron, I was kind of like, all right. And then as it went on, like I believe Brian Tyree Henry like really got into the character as it progressed. So by the time we actually like he's full blown Megatron, I'm like the voice worked. I don't know if he deepened his voice or changed it a little bit, but like if you listen when the film starts and him talking, and by the end, it's not the exact same. Like he I don't know, he switches to another gear, and I'm like, okay, no, that was great. Now, as far as Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax, Optimus Prime, obviously, like you said, Peter Cullen, the iconic Optimus Prime voice, the voice that you hear once he gives a speech. I mean, you literally willing to go fist fight a Decepticon for this guy. I don't think Chris Hemsworth gave you that, unfortunately.
Right.
But I think he did do something, considering the fact that the character was Orion Pax in the beginning, and then he developed into Optimus Prime. I think that still works for what they're doing with these characters because it don't have the same gravitas to it. You know what I'm saying? That same weight. But at the same time, given where the character is starting and how the character's progressing, I understood it. And it eventually both of them grew on me. Megatron grew on me more for sure. Yeah. But like I like by the end of it, I'm like, okay, Chris Hemsworth, it was cool.
Yeah. He was, man. You talked about his speech, no, it didn't match what Peter Cullen could do. And let me just make sure that's his name. I'm gonna look it up over here. But because that's blasphemous. I can only imagine. Peter Cullen, Canadian. Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, and he passed away, didn't he? No, he's still alive. Yeah, he is still 83 years old. Okay, he's a Leo. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. But it was still nice. It was still lovely, dope as hell. And had a bit of the gravitas when they realized the truth of Sentinel Prime was a lying, backstabbing hoe, and we're gonna get to him, of course. When he was trying to rally the troops, and it was like, we're outnumbered, and it was like, it's okay, Megatron, the D-16 and Scarlett Johansson's, I'm finna say Scarlett Jo Witch, ScarJo's character are bringing in reinforcements, and he gave that speech right there, kind of right before the third act. Towards the end of the movie.
I really like the miners.
Yeah. When he was down there with the miners. Okay. Yeah. He had just he had came back and he had his Transformers card. So he was powered up a bit. And it was like, oh shit, man, you been hitting the weights? You know what I'm saying? So like, we're gonna listen to you. You know what I'm saying? You obviously know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You know something. So I went with a friend, and when doing that moment, I looked over at him and I was like, man, this is his first speech. Because even in the live action movies, I think it was in Age of Extinction, and I'm pretty sure this is in the old animated movie and all that stuff. But I don't actually remember what character said it in the live action movie. But there was this like, oh my God, there he goes again. Optimus giving a great speech. Don't you just want to die for the man? Or I'm paraphrasing.
That was Age of Extinction.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And so I thought about that moment at that time too. Like, man, this is some real ass ish. And also, let me throw out that one take. You said, and I agree with you, that yes, this can be written off as a movie that is more geared towards children. But they did have some adult themes in it, man, that we deal with at our age and more. Of betrayal and deceit and lies, deception, Decepticons. I love that play on words. Did you stay for the post-credit scene?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm saying a lot here. I'm throwing a bunch at you. But the adult theme of Megatron, he had a belief system. He had he had his look on life. He thought that this was it, that this was his origin, that this was his story, and it was all BS, man. And so where, man, if you have blind faith and it ends up not working out, man, you can snap. You can. What's the phrase people use today? You can crash out,
Crash out.
Yeah, and that's basically what he did, man. But yeah, man. But all that was passionate to me Where are you at? What was passionate to you?
No. I think that's why I feel like it was so great because like obviously most of the time we always just know Megatron to be this big bad guy. But even if you look at the live action films, the animated stuff, everything Megatron did was always in this for Cybertron. Yeah. And like that, it's just the fact that Optimus wasn't willing to step on other people for the sake of Cybertron, but that's exactly what Megatron would do. And Cybertron that was it. And like, given that Megatron has seen people who led who are frauds and who aren't, you know what I'm saying, legit, who aren't who they show themselves to be, you know what I'm saying, or who they portray themselves as. And then that, like I said, he was the straight and narrow guy. Like he just was like, okay, we just gonna do our work and build. Because like remember, like once Ryan Patch got him in trouble, he's like, man, bro, we gonna get bumped all the way back down to I don't even know what level. It's like, so he was really caring about that. And so when you see that the person that you idolized, looked up to, well, one of the people, because it's like, because you still had Megatron. It was I forgot the other one in which they took the Decepticon logo for him, but like him, it's like
I know what you mean.
You see, like that was his hero, and you seen his hero be betrayed by somebody that he put trust in, and this same person Megatron put trust in, this person he looked up to, he was excited about. Megatron was ecstatic about going to go try to find the Matrix of Leadership and bring it back to Sentinel Prime. Those things were like so important to him, and I just absolutely love that they like as the film goes on, you constantly see. Like the eyes were the greatest thing. His eyes, like you see the yellow, then they start the orange, and then to that final turn when he lifts his head up and it's red, all because of he's been betrayed for so long, and he's put his faith in so many other people. He's looked out for people. He just, I'm enough of this. If anybody's gonna do it, if anybody's gonna lead the way, it's going to be me. I'm no longer putting my faith in anybody else. I'm going to be the person because I know exactly what I stand for and I know exactly what I'm going to do. That was probably some of the best development. Obviously, it develops into like he's a freaking maniac, but like that's probably some of the best development you're going to get from a character that I've seen all year long.
Already. Now, about the person that they believed in and trusted in was lying to him, we have Sentinel Prime. I liked him as a villain. I looked up to him too before the truth was revealed. I thought it was a pretty good villain antagonist. Thought it was quite nice. Did you already know from the jump that, oh no, we can't trust this motherfucker right here. He full of crap. You know what I'm saying? Because it took me a while, but I was like, oh, okay, this the same cat that popped up in Dark of the Moon, the Transformer, Optimus at the end, Oh, that's how, I was like, okay, that's the same character. Yeah. So how'd you feel about Sentinel, man, and that revelation and all that stuff?
So I knew there had to be something. If this is an origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron, there has to be something that affected Megatron. And so seeing him basically fanboy over Sentinel, I'm like, okay, it has to be something with Sentinel. And then the biggest thing was when we don't know the history actually, like what happened to like the other the primes who went to the surface. So I'm just thinking, okay, if he knows anything, and then it was like he's the person going to the surface looking for the Matrix of Leadership, and he hasn't found anything. I'm like, nah, I just don't trust him. And anybody, it's hard. It's always hard to trust anybody who's that squeaky clean. I think that's in movies, that's in real life. Anybody that's squeaky clean, even if that's actually who they are, it's always hard to fully trust them because you just think to yourself, nobody's that good. So no, I knew there was something up with him. I didn't know he was a lame and literally bowing down to others.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I thought like, okay, if you gonna betray everybody, at least become a boss. Like you a worker. Like you could have just kept your friends alive and y'all just been fighting, but You became a worker. Yeah, you the man down here, but any kind of way, I can't be the guy one place and then I'm bowing down to other people.
Right.
And I'm over here doing everything for them. And then you choke me out in front of my people?
Yeah.
Man, hell no, man. He wild for that. We wild for that, bro.
You not that one out the park though, man. For real. And what I'm laughing at too is because they had a old girl, the spotter lady right here, with all the cameras and lenses in her face, on auto record. When they played the tape for the people or whatever, everybody was so shocked and this jaw dropped to, oh my God, not that he just betrayed her, but he's a bitch, so excuse my French. So I was just thinking about that, but yeah, man, that was pretty thrown off. I never even knew about this other race, alien race that they, was beefing with back then as well. I just knew it was always Autobots and Decepticons, you know what I'm saying? And they just split. I didn't know it was somebody else. So this is new to me right here. They said they was trying to get new viewers, and they did, man. But I love that. I like the design as well. How did about the design, man? First time whole movie was on Cybertron. No humans. It was beautiful. Lovely things in the background. Lovely things in the foreground. Lovely all over the place. We got daytime, nighttime, evening, morning, afternoon. Even that scene when they first got on the train and it looked like the mountains were moving and shifting and transforming. I thought was magnificent, man. And I saw this on the big screen. How was your theater experience and all the visuals and all that stuff?
No, I had a really good theater experience. I was there with like a pretty decent crowd. Well, I would say pretty decent. The only reason I say it wasn't great because like there was a kid next to me and with her grandpa, and like it was like chatting sometimes during the movie, and she would sometimes pull her phone out. Yeah. That was the only thing. But other than that, like I was with a group of people who seemed to really enjoy it. Now, as far as like the visuals, the thing that was super, super dope to me was like the train or cars, like the roads, like made themselves like in the middle of the air. Yeah. That was crazy dope. I'm like, cause like obviously you see when Optimus like turns to a truck and he just glide, and then you just see the road forming right in front of him. I'm like, yo, nice. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. And another, as far as like. Another one of the visuals I just want to talk about was the characters of Orion Pax and D16. Now, if you watch any other Transformers movies, you always notice one thing. For some reason, Optimus Prime and Megatron are always the biggest Transformers out there. Always. And I was just wondering, like, why are they so much bigger than everybody else? Like, to your point, you even see Jazz in this. And like around that, when we first see Jazz, like him, Orion Pax, DC Sting, they're all around the same size. So I'm like, what happens? And then you see, okay, once they get that, once they get the card, they get stronger. And then in the end, Megatron gets the other cog. He gets bigger. And then Optimus Prime gets the Matrix leadership. He gets bigger. And so now at this point, they jack and they're much bigger than everybody. Because there was another scene that I was thinking about. This was after Megatron already had his card. And he was standing in front of Sentinel Prime, where Sentinel Prime had him like chained up or whatever. And I'm like, Sentinel Prime is still so much bigger than Megatron. Yeah. I'm like, I know Megatron to be one of the tallest Transformers. And then we see that, and then it's like they hit the juice. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. Because at first, watching the trailers, I didn't love the designs, man. Yeah. I didn't love the designs. I'm like, okay, they look so strong. I'm like, they don't look powerful. They don't look like leaders. And then you get those moments, and I'm like, okay. Now they gave you everything you wanted to see. They didn't leave nothing out. They explained it all. That's what I love. Hell yeah. Did you love this too? The High Guard, Soundwave, Starscream. I was waiting to get to that. Yeah. Oh man. Lovely scene. Loved it, man. How I'm gonna let you go first. How'd you feel about it? Absolutely loved it because anybody know the history of Transformers. It's always this big thing with Starscream and Megatron. Always been a thing with Starscream and Megatron. Starscream always trying to take over, always trying to be the leader. And then at this point we see like, nah, Starscream was the guy. Yeah. Starscream was like, he was the boss. Him at the throne. Then you see Shockwave, you see Soundwave, Shockwave. Banter with Elita One, absolutely hilarious, by the way. Yeah. So, but like you just seeing that, and he got his people. You know what I'm saying? They all looking like, okay, this is our guy. And then, but just the absolute, just aura of Megatron, though. This is what you know, like, yeah, he different. He like, man, y'all want to sit on here and cower, do sneak attacks? I ain't with none of that. Hey, I'm about to leave. And listen, they're literally prisoners. They're literally prisoners. Make sure I was like, man, I'm out of here, man. Y'all ain't about nothing. Yeah. Everybody like, oh, heck no, man. Starscream, you gonna let him do that? Starscream like, heck no. They get the man, bro. That big gun, that iconic Megatron gun. Yeah. He posted up to his like, hey, bro. This is the last time I'm showing somebody some mercy. Yeah, yeah. Y'all roll with me. Man, that was dope.
And either right before or after that, Optimus, he knew that he wasn't coming back, that he switched over to the dark side. When I think he was trying to get a look at the map, and he was like, I got it. He was like, no, it's crazy. And he's like, bro, I got it. And he was like, whoa. I think it was, something like this right here. That map that they was looking at. And so, Megatron was fed up, man. He was like, I'm leading my own way. And, it's just interesting how it all unfolded because, again, at this point of the film, I'm satisfied and they just keep on giving me other nuggets and jewelry and pieces and chains. I'm like, the high, I didn't expect us to see Starscream and Soundwave and all of them. I knew the names. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll pop up in part 2. Maybe this is just focus on Bumblebee and Optimus and Megatron. And I was fine with that. So this was a bonus. And I was like, oh, it's a vacuum of power here? You know what I'm saying? They beating ass. Guns coming out of nowhere. This is lovely.
Another thing that kind of like opens your minds up a little bit is when you really think about it. So basically all the Decepticons are made up of like the High Guard, right? Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of them can fly and so on and so forth. But it also kind of like shows you how the Decepticons often will like be winning the war against the Autobots. Considering the fact that all of those guys that are on the Decepticon side now were basically like military guys and like high-ranking military guys at that. And the Autobots, if you see, like everybody else that wasn't with them was considered an Autobot. And most of these people are just minors or just regular Transformers just living everyday lives. Yeah. So that way it's like, okay, they may have more on their side, but these people are more skilled in combat. So it's going to lean more towards them. Yeah. And like that's why Optimus Prime is such a vital key to like the Autobot side, because like, okay, y'all may have more military experience, but we have me. We have me. I'm
that guy.
Yeah. Y'all may be way more skilled. Yeah. But I'm finna get these people about a 5-minute speech. Yeah. And they're gonna run through a wall for me, okay?
You know what I'm saying?
And if they don't got it, I'm still that dude. You feel me?
Already. I love it. I gotta ask you about these characters too, of course. We got ScarJo right here, and we got Keegan Michael Key. I liked him. Other than it was one joke that he made at some point in the movie, and it didn't land for me. But that's my only critique of the movie. Right there is just one joke didn't land. That's pretty much it. I liked him, man. He was funny for the most part. And he showed up too. He showed up and showed out with the blades on his hands. Pretty serious. Scarlett, she got on my nerve. I was like, man, if you don't sit your ass down, she was running her ass off to go tattle before they made it to the surface. You know what I'm saying? That I was like, will you calm down? No, I love my job. But yeah, man, how you feeling about ScarJo and Bumblebee in this?
Nah, okay. ScarJo as a leader one, I liked her for what her character was, because her character is also, I think she's steadfast, and like she's kind of like that's also that straight narrow person who would tell Optimus what he needs. Like in future stuff, I can see her being like that person on the shoulder, like, hey, you get yourself, like, even in this, like when he was like feeling bad, she like, listen, I'm better than you in every way. Yeah. Like, okay, this is a terrible motivational speech. But she's like, but you see the best in everything in which nobody else does. Like, she was able to like give him that boost, or that spark. That's probably the best word to use. That spark that he needed. And I think a character like that is needed. Now, granted, yes, she was like pretty. You can basically like a Karen at a sense. It's like, okay, you really take your job that serious, but bro, she was on her way to a promotion, and then she got completely like dumped to like waste management. I would be pretty drunk too. Like, bro, I'm finna be living nice. I'm gonna be living good on Cybertron, bro. I'm the custodian. Come on, bro. Y'all cooked me. Now, as far as Keegan Michael Key, downright hilarious, man. I even every day, like, I know a lot of people, it's just like they got tired of it. But me, when he says it, I think the very last time he said it, their theater exploded. He was hilarious all the while. Even I think the scene where like they saw when they first got to like the top, and you see the mouse moving towards them, and everybody was just looking. And he just turned around and just started running. Like, I said, like, he was hilarious. Like, it was very few times where he said something that I didn't absolutely just die laughing. I loved him.
The first instance we ran into him, and that was lower levels, and, like they were just going to be down there in hell forever. I initially thought I wasn't going to like him. I was like, he going to get on my nerve. He going to be annoying. He going to be doing corny jokes. No, he worked out quite well for me, man. And like I said, he showed up in the action scene, and we got to talk about the action. If there was I'm pretty sure there is a catalog, a book, and it had every character's profile, and then all of their power moves and abilities and stuff like that, everybody would have a checkbox on every mark. You know what I'm saying? Every move. Like, bro, they kept giving me more and more and more. I mean, like, damn. I mean, just even the small details. When it was still lit when the war was over with, when Optimus was like, all right, I'm banning you for Cybertron, take the high guard and get out. That exit that they even made was so damn smooth, bro. How they just flew out of there all in the not one sequence. I was like, what is going on? Why is it so good, man? I mean, transforming into the tank. It's just, mind you, you already had the first fight with Spider Lady and Sentinel. And that was dope right there. At that point, I was already like, hey, I'm good. This was a great film. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to walk out of here, give my reaction. Hey, this is great. Go see it. Buy your tickets now. But no, they was like, oh, we were just warming you up, baby. You know what I'm saying? That was just the chips and the salsa. The avocado dip. Guacamole. Anyway, y'all get my point. You know what I'm saying? And we got to see Megatron versus Optimus. And then the way it was set up, like the actual turn, man, to where he shot him on accident. Why did you do that? I'm tired of saving you, bro, and just dropped him. But I was like, that's effed up. But I was like, I feel you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? One take. Take it away, man. Take it away, man. Take it away.
Hey, bro, I was losing it. I was listen. When he shot him, I'm like, man, he just, bro, the hole in his
man.
I said, oh no. I said he cooked him.
How's he gonna get out of this?
And listen, I'm like, he done killed my boy. All in a single sin. The craziest part, dog. And this is what I was telling you about. Them eyes slowly turning throughout the movie. And he grabs him. He holding on to my boy. I'm thinking back. At this moment, I'm thinking, hell no. He ain't finna Mufasa my boy. No, man. He ain't finna Mufasa my boy. No. And then I'm like, man, he looked down and looked back up. Them eyes were red. I'm tired of saying you. I said,
oh shit! Yeah.
Kill Simba. Took the car, boosted up. Bro.
Yeah.
I said, this is crazy. This is crazy. I said, so Simba gone, and then Optimus, he done. Who was he about to? I think who was Megatron about to kill? Was he about to kill?
He was about to kill Sentinel. That I was just about to pass it to you. I got to throw in some topping on here, man, to add something in. Not only all that, bro, the way the film was edited, as Optimus is falling to his death. I mean, that's when he actually gets the name. He finds the elders, and that's at the exact same time that Megatron is powering up again, taking out the power Transformers cog that he already had, and putting in a super duper Megatron from Sentinel. So the fact that they were just powering up at the same time, like this was just destined to happen, like it was written 500 million years ago or something, you know what I'm saying? And like all of the stars and planets align, yada yada. That was just the icing on the cake, man. Icing on the cake.
Bro.
And then they fought.
I think, and at that moment, I think that was the first time we got all hail Megatron. I said, oh my. I said, yeah. I said, then everybody was just like, yeah.
Yeah. It was a love letter. It was a love letter.
And then we get that fight between them two.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna just say them two, because that was the best use of transformation.
Man.
When Megatron swung at Optimus, he turned into a truck, did a donut, and clipped him. I said, yo, wait a minute, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Then you also had Starscream, Shockwave, and Soundwave all fighting Optimus, and he cooking them too.
Yeah.
Bro, when the axe came out, oh my God.
He was launching. I was like, I didn't know he could do that. Yeah.
Bro, the theater erupted. I mean, you know, sometimes when you just listen, I'm a person who always got movie etiquette. I got theater etiquette. I never want to do something that I don't want somebody else doing at the theater.
Yeah, I feel you.
I lost all that. Yeah. Listen, I'm grown. Listen, I'm grown in hell. I don't give a damn about these little kids next to me. I don't care about the grandpa. I don't care about the folks in front of me, behind me, none of that. I got the cheering super loud.
I love it, man. I love it. I
got to waving my hands in there, man.
You know what's crazy, man? And we weren't even expecting this, bro. That's just, I mean, at least I wasn't. Now I was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was just a nice little Christmas gift, man, out of nowhere. And I definitely needed it, man. Like this was this was lovely, man. And then the post-credit scene, and the only reason I saw the post-credit scene is because I left something in the movie in my seat, and I had to go back and get it. And I was like, I was like, you know what? Let me just stay a couple of more minutes to make sure, there ain't no post-credit scene. And I'm glad I did, man, because that was nice. They said they're trying to make a trilogy out of this. And so I can't wait to see part 2. What have I left out, man, if not anything, man? What else do we need to talk about? Or have we covered pretty much everything? Was there anything you want to cover?
Man, I think for the most part, we pretty much covered just about everything. Now, I don't think we really covered the history of the other I think there were the other primes that died.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they got their cogs.
Yeah.
And I like that they gave a little short history lesson as to what happened. I thought that whole sequence, I can't think of what the Transformer who was, the elder Transformer who pretty much told him everything that happened. I can't think of his name, but the way he was telling the story and what the whole betrayal sequence, and then why each cog went to each Transformer, I'm like, okay, this is
it Alphatron, played by Lawrence Fishburne?
I think that's him. Yeah. That's him, the one with technically a beard. You know what I'm saying?
John Hamm was Sentinel Prime, and They got somebody named Zeta Prime, James Raymer. Darkwing. I'm on IMDb right now, but yeah, man. This was a banger, man. This was a banger. What you have any final thoughts? One take about this masterpiece that we just saw.
My only other thing is I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna do with part 2, because the war that they was at, I mean the other race that they was at war with, I'm kind of wondering, is that what we gonna lean at in the next movie? Because apparently this one takes place billions of years before the Transformers that we know.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm kind of wondering, are we gonna deal with like the war that they're facing with the other guys? And then will that lead to the third war? I'm thinking this going to end with like the fall of Cybertron. If we're going to do 3 films, I think the third one probably ends with like the war and the fall of Cybertron, because I think that's just because they obviously we know they're going to eventually have to leave Cybertron. You know what I'm saying? Cybertron's not going to be livable anymore, and Optimus trying to save it. Megatron, well, Optimus going to know, like, okay, we can't live here anymore. Megatron thinks, hey, we have to save Cybertron at whatever cost, no matter who's
in charge.
Because I kind of think it's going to lend to, and this is why I think, and I just thought about this, the whole situation with the people that they're at war with now. Now we see that they're giving a lot of energon to those people, right? We don't know what for. So these people came to Cybertron to take energon, right? So eventually Megatron is going to become basically the same as those people they're at war with now. It's just he's going to be doing it on other planets. He's going to be taking other resources from other planets to help Cybertron. And so I think that's going to be like a big, obviously him and Optimus aren't like connected right now, but that's going to be like, okay, Megatron, you're pretty much becoming the same person as the people that like hurt our world. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it'll eventually lead to something like that. But yeah,
that can happen. I think I'm leaning more towards your first scenario, to where part 2 they are going after the other race that was taking the energon, and then part 3 is maybe the fall of Cybertron. I can definitely see that happening right there, because I mean, even though they're at odds, let's say for instance we don't know if part 2 is going to pick up a week from the events of this film or 6 years later. We have no idea. And maybe they do. And so if it picks up kind of, within the same time frame, Optimus and Megatron are at odds, but are they at the point to where they just can't stand each other right now? Because I still think they can still come together to fight off an alien race. Like, hey, I don't like you, you don't like me, but this is whole ass is trying to take our energon. So let's you get your high guard, I'm gonna get my Autobots, and we back them off. And we'll handle a lot of differences later. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely see
it's just I think one, I don't think either one of them is willing to follow the other at this point, because I kind of think it kind of would like show the people that are under them, like, okay, if we do it this person's way, like we kind of losing who we are and what we represent. Now, granted, them coming together to fight, yes, I think they're just gonna have different ways of doing it. They're gonna be fighting the same battle on 2 different fronts.
Yeah, oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That would be good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good for the second movie for sure.
Y'all, I give this movie a perfect 10 out of 10. I don't do that often, but I'm ecstatic about this film. I can't wait to buy it and watch the IMAX scenes at home, all that. This was truly surprising cinematic masterpiece on all fronts. One take?
Yeah, man. I think this is, for me, this was as good as. Well, no, I ain't gonna say that. This definitely exceeded expectation. There was no way I went into this movie thinking that I was gonna come out feeling the way I felt, or make the movie making me feel the way I feel. Like this was a pleasant surprise, and like I said, it's right for me. It's been a couple of days. I'm a couple of days removed from seeing it, so I will probably say even after seeing it, I was pretty comfortable saying like this is probably my favorite movie of the year.
Already, that's what's up right there. That is what's up. That's a tall order. That's a tall order. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to wrap it up for our Transformers 1 spoilers movie review. If you want to get an even earlier take on my thoughts on this film, I have a short, fresh out of the theater reaction that you can check out. Also have me talking about it by myself here in a non-spoiler review, but you just got the spoilers review over here. And I want to thank my guest, Mr. One Take Big Dog, sir. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime. Why don't you let the good people know what you got going on over here? Let me find your TikTok, but yeah, I got your YouTube. I typed in TikTok and TikTok. My goodness gracious, One Take Big Dog. There we go. Yeah. What you got going on, man, on your outlets over here, man?
Oh man, I'm just chilling right now. Once again, do you guys want some merch? LifeCrazy.store. Go over there, hop over there, get you some Life Crazy merch. Hop over on TikTok, follow me if you enjoy just anime content and whatever else that's going on. I'll probably do a video on some other pop culture topics that I've been finding pretty interesting. So you should definitely go over there and watch those. And if you want to see my movie and TV content, also on TikTok at Diesel Take One. It's pretty fun, and interesting. I have a couple of videos that'll probably be up tomorrow. Probably won't be up today. As far as Agatha All Along episodes 1 and 2. Bad Monkey. What else have I been watching? I'm about to watch The Penguin in a little bit. The Terminator Zero. I got like 2 episodes left of it. I watched a lot of stuff, man. I watched a lot of stuff. So it's all going to be there. So if you want to keep up with me, that's where you can find me right now. And also, my socials are all the same. One Take Big Dog.
Alrighty, man. Thank you for that. If you guys are, into superhero comic book content as well, shot another video that's going to be posting tomorrow with my homie with Mr. Lamont Gaines. We're talking a whole bunch of stuff. We got 9 topics: Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, all that right there. I'm also covering Fight Night on my channel, so you can check that out. Also, The Penguin, got the first review or first episode recap on my channel right now. And also Agatha All Along, was able to see the first 4 episodes. And it's pretty straight so far, Don't get too excited, but it's pretty straight so far. But guys, again, we just want to thank you so much. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's One Take, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.
One Take.